there's a direct correlation with how much content you have on your pages and your position on Google. Three key pillars to SEO. There's technical SEO, there's relevance or on-site SEO, and then there's domain authority, which has to do with your linking. And so the tactics that I'm going to give you, they are grounded in the three pillars of SEO. So let's start with the first thing. This is official tactic number one. This has to do with your technical SEO and a bit to do with your relevance. But one of the very first things that I see people not quite get right is they don't have enough strategy behind their SEO. And specifically, they're not doing enough in-depth keyword research to figure out what they should be targeting, who they should be going after. There was a fascinating study that we did with a client around dresses. And essentially what we found is that there are thousands, over 2,000 ways that people were searching for dresses. And so we look at the campaign and we say, how do we build a content strategy around 2,000 different search variations? And honestly, there are even more. But what we found out through in-depth keyword research, using the competition, using tools like SEMrush, is that there were basically 7 major categories that all 2,000 of those searches revolved around. Things like dress style, dress length, color, price. And so what we did is that we built the website, we changed the architecture so that we had categorical level pages around these categories where we could put in good content. And essentially what we were trying to do is we were trying to match the site and the pages based on what people were looking for. And so this is a long answer to the first tactic, but the very first thing that I want you to do before you write your next blog, before you create more content, I want you to do more in-depth keyword research to figure out what people are looking for. How are they searching for your product? How are they searching for your service? And do you have pages that have great content that answer those queries? All right. So keyword research, and that's number one. Number two, I want to talk about is structure and content. So it goes from keyword research to having good structure and good content. This is important because what we're seeing is that Google, they're rewarding long form content. They're rewarding people who have invested in time and effort and energy into writing and creating really good information for people to view. And so the problem though is, here's what I'm seeing. What I'm seeing is that people, they've been saying forever, content is king, you gotta have more content. And while they're not wrong, the content isn't being applied correctly. What I see, if you look at this, what we're seeing with our data and with our clients is that having a good, strong homepage with main topic pages, with having subtopic pages, and then blog posts to support those, all interlinking with each other, this is what Google wants to see. What I see are a bunch of new blogs being written that have very little impact, that they get indexed, but they never rank. People are producing blog after blog, but my question is, when was the last time you went back and made your homepage better? When was the last time that you went back and improved your category pages or your topic pages? This is what I mean. This is what Google needs to see now. They don't want to see a lot of fluffy new content. They want to see better content. Okay. In fact, this was a study done by Backlinko. There is a link to it, but there's a direct correlation with how much content you have on your pages and your position on Google. And it seems to be around that 1,800, 2,000 word. Like that seems to be the magic number of content. Now this varies by industry, but what we do as part of our program is that we'll do in-depth competitive research to see how much content do your competitors have. Because if somebody's ranking in the top 3 position, then it means that Google sees them as a good answer. And the question therefore becomes, how do we help you, or how do you help yourself become a better answer? I'm guessing that tip number 2, which is stop creating a bunch of new content, go back and make your old content better, update it, refresh it. That's what I want you to do. All right. Again, Google is rewarding quality over quantity. Lots of studies show that. So that's what I want you to do. The other thing that that we're starting to notice is that, and it goes along with what I've been saying, Google, you'll notice that when you type in something, it's not uncommon to see educational blogs or people also ask, long tail type keywords, again, more education pieces. And so what they want to do is they want to answer questions. And so what you need to be doing through your content is answering questions. All right. Now, a lot of our clients, and this might have happened to you as well, but look, Google, through their EAT update, through the Your Money, Your Life update, they keep trying to push out these updates that are enforcing and reiterating on this idea that you need better content. You need to show expertise, you need to show authoritativeness, you need to show trustworthiness. And so I can only guess that this is going to be rolled out across all industries, okay? Because it's really starting to become pretty relevant. We really have to take this sort of approach when we're working with our clients. But that's what I want you to do. Okay, so now that I've talked a little bit about, doing more keyword research, doing better competitive research, making sure that you have a good content strategy, that you're going back, refreshing older content, making it better, making it longer, making it more informative. I want to show you how, taking this content-driven approach and making sure that content is full of expertise, authority, and trustworthiness. I want to show you how it's actually working so that you can see some of these tactics and how they work. So let's take a deeper dive into this page. This is a client of ours. They do supplements. If you've ever done marketing for supplements, you know how hard it is. But the very first thing that we did is we worked with the client to figure out, okay, we need an amazing page full of just tons of content. And so I said that the magic number is around 2,000. Depending on the industry, you might need a lot more. For this particular client, it was over 6,000. Another thing that we did to show that we were trustworthiness is that we included a review section. This is something that a lot of you can do today that you're not. You should, in your pillar page, your home page, your main category pages, include a couple of client reviews so that, again, we're trying to signal trust to Google. Another thing that we did is that we put together a user-generated content section. This was fantastic because it's social proof. Again, we're trying to show trustworthiness. We're trying to show that we have lots of clients. So we are an authority in the space. We are an expert. We know what we're talking about. We also did video explainers, okay? These are fantastic because, again, it shows expertise, right? And another great tip with videos is that you can transcribe them and get even more content. Probably, not everybody has the ability to make great videos. Not everybody has the ability to, pour in a ton of customer reviews. But I do think that everybody has the ability to do something like this, putting a frequently asked question section. My favorite approach to this is to put it at the bottom of the homepage or the category page, use an accordion that's collapsible. And this way, you're not going to ruin user experience or make it really hard to read. And yet it's an opportunity for you to just put in a ton of great content. Plus, with Schema Markup, which I'll talk about here in a second, you can utilize this section to not just add content, but to rank in the knowledge graph area in the featured snippets. So look, we did these sorts of things. I told you I was going to mention Schema. Schema, look, if you're in this presentation, and when I say Schema, if there's even a second of, what does he mean by that? Or what is that? Or have I done that? I want you to reach out and let me help you. I love Schema Markup. Schema is so important because Google is showing it more and more and more, all right? A few years ago, less than 10% of searches had any sort of featured snippet, and now 15 to 20% have them. And I only anticipate that number is going to go up and up. And yet, I get to chat with small business owners, marketing directors, marketing VPs all day. And most websites that I look at still, to this day, even though we've been talking about Schema Markup for a few years, do not have it, all right? Schema allows you to get things that you pay for with Google Ads. For example, site link extensions, review extensions, things that you pay more money to show in Google Ads, you can organically show if you have proper schema set up. And a fantastic way to get more clicks is by using schema to show up in the knowledge graph, okay? That's actually tip number, I don't know what number I'm at, probably number 3. I told you I'd give you more than 3. But if you haven't added Schema Markup, start with your home page, start with your pillar pages, your category pages, your main topic pages, start with your 10 most important pages and relentlessly work with your dev team and get schema. My favorite one to start with is frequently asked question schema because it adds great content to your page as well. All right. So look, I've got case study after case study, and I'm probably not going to have time here today to go over them. But this is an example of we implemented schema on 69 pages, and we helped to drive almost 1 million additional site impressions and almost 30,000 URL clicks simply by implementing schema. It absolutely works. Okay. You'll notice you've seen it for yourself. Schema shows up here. Schema shows up in both of these search results. And you know what? Pull open your phone, do a search result. I'll bet you some schema shows up. All right. So the end result here is that by doing this, okay, again, by longer form content, by utilizing the EAT update, by implementing amazing schema, we were able to help them rank #1 for whey protein isolate. And you can see here in the results, they had fantastic ranking improvement. It worked incredibly well. All right. The last tip that I want to give you. So all of the stuff that I've been talking about for the last little bit, this mainly lives in category #2, which is relevance. I'm going to move on to category pillar #3, which is authority. But the last tip that I want to give you, and this is a very actionable tip that you can do today, is that I want you to tweak your title tags, and I want you to try using dates or questions. What we found is that more and more searches, people are looking for the most updated and most useful information. And so it's not uncommon for people to include a date in the search. And so you should include a date in the title tag if you have a relevant product or service. All right.